Humanity has attractive terms for the wicked, like psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, narcissism, etc. If you ask a professional about famous serial killers, you might hear language like the above, depicting them as personalities rather than the wicked searing their consciences. These people are categorized and isolated unsympathetically from the spiritual in the psychological world. Yet these disorders reveal exactly how the wicked are depicted in the scriptures. In Doctrines of the Gospel Student Manual, chapter 21, it reads, because of their faith and obedience in the premortal life, thousands upon thousands of the sons and daughters of God were foreordained to be members of the house of Israel in mortality. It didn't say everyone, but it did say thousands. This foreordination carries with it nobility as well as great responsibility. As members of the house of Israel, we are princes and princesses, members of a royal covenant family commissioned to be the salt of the earth. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. And the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. To take the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. Doctrine and Covenants 77:8. So if that's true, can we also say it's true that there were the opposite? And I'm not just talking about the third of the hosts of heaven that were cast out. I'm talking about people that came to earth. Yes, everybody accepted Christ, but maybe for different reasons. Some just wanted a body, maybe. Wanted to make it to one of the degrees of glory. But it's obvious that not everyone was foreordained like this. So what is wickedness? It's not personality attributes we are inherently begotten spiritually with. In other words, we weren't spiritually begotten with wicked traits. However, we do develop quite comprehensively in the pre-earth life by the desires of our spirits, even before we come to earth. Romans chapter 8, verses 28 through 30 reads, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Now, predestined doesn't mean that they were doomed either for failure or success. Predestined means they were that basically we were foreordained. Predestined, we could also say the Lord looked at us and determined where we would be in the next life, so to speak, kind of like when you look at your own children and see how you can kind of predestine their future just by the way they act. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. So it doesn't say everyone, does it? But it says some. Norman W. Gardner, Seminaries and Institutes. This, he said, a young man who had decided to get married rather than serve a mission was persuaded to obtain his patriarchal blessing first. During the blessing, he had a glimpse of who he was in the premortal world. He saw how valiant and influential he was in persuading others to follow Christ. knowing who he really was, how could he not serve a mission? This is just one example of how knowledge of premortal life can make a difference for us. Does this mean that everyone that came to earth was valiant, noble, and faithful in the pre-existence? Certainly not. Not even all who are baptized members of the church and then fall away fighting the brethren until the end were very valiant in the pre-earth life. They probably decided to follow Christ, and they tried here. But ultimately, some people just fail because they don't desire it. And they didn't desire it in the premortal life. Well, as much as others desire it. Maybe some, maybe some came to earth and were valiant, noble, and faithful in the pre-existence, some of the wicked. But not most of those who fall hard here. Alma chapter 13, verse 3 in the Book of Mormon reads, "And this is the manner after which they were foreordained, being called and prepared from the foundation of the world according to the foreknowledge of God, and account of their exceeding faith and good works, in the first place being left to choose good or evil. Therefore they, having chosen good and exercising exceedingly great faith, are called with a holy calling. Yea, with that holy calling which was prepared with and according to a preparatory redemption for such." Let's go back up here. "And this is the manner for which they were foreordained. They were called and prepared, some of us, because of our righteousness in the premortal life, according to the foreknowledge of our God, of our Heavenly Father." And why were we foreordained? On account of our exceeding faith and good works. In the first place, being left to choose good or evil. There you go. We had agency. So if there were good people there, there were bad people there. And bad people that have come to earth. To say that everyone was great there would be false doctrine, brothers and sisters. For if there are the valiant, then there are also the disobedient. However, everyone that receives a body chose to follow Christ in the pre-earth world. Doctrine and Covenants, section 29, verse 36 through 37 reads, "And it came to pass that Adam, being tempted of the devil, for behold, the devil was before Adam, for he rebelled against me, saying, Give me thine honor, which is my power, and also a third part of the hosts of heaven. Turned he away from me because of their agency." So it wasn't just the third of the host. What, they were the only ones that exercised agency, and then everybody else was just completely 150% on the Lord's side, and we're all just righteous. They came to earth. No, look at the earth. Look at the earth. We were not all valiant, noble, and faithful. It's obvious. "Give me thine honor, which is my power, and also a third of the hosts of heaven turned he away from me because of their agency. And they were thrust down, and thus came the devil and his angels." Nonetheless, wickedness was there in premortal life because it is here. And it's so obvious that there are some here that are not among God's sons and daughters that are valiant, noble, and faithful. So I went to the topical guide under wickedness, or the church website under wickedness and wicked. And there's tons. Look at this. Tons. And I highlighted the ones that stood out to me. So you can go to the church website and type in wickedness in Google. Type in wickedness and LDS, and this should come up. Babylon, backsliding, crooked, deceit, devil, disobedience, evil, filthiness, fornication, fraud, hell, sexual behavior. I didn't say that. Iniquity, injustice, Satan, sexual immorality, sin, transgress, ungodly. God saw that the wickedness of man was great. Genesis 6:5. Wickedness proceedeth from the wicked. 1 Samuel 24:13. And there are so many other good things in here. When I say good, I mean good as in defining wickedness. God is angry with the wicked. Psalms 7:11. He sure is. Evil shall slay the wicked. Psalms 34:21. Yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Psalms 37:10. How long shall the wicked triumph? Psalms 94:3. Salvation is far from the wicked. Psalms 119, 155. Rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. Psalms 125:3. Way of the wicked is as darkness. Proverbs 4:19. Heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. We have wicked imaginations, brothers and sisters, because why? We have our agency, and we had it in the premortal life. Proverbs 6:18. Wicked shall not inhabit the earth. Proverbs 10:30. So yeah, you could call them psychopaths and sociopaths, right? You could give them those names. Narcissistic behavior. I was talking to Jared from Christian Homestead, and we both agreed that, and he pointed this out to me, and it made sense, that that these narcissists and psychopaths, they have agency. They can choose to be that way, and they probably are. The reason why they are born in this world that way, maybe, is because they decided as spirit beings to not be valiant. They were not valiant there, and they in a sense seared the light of Christ in their consciences. Among my people are found wicked men, Jeremiah 5:26. Let's see, did I read? Let the wicked forsake his way, Isaiah 55:7. Here's a good one. If the wicked will turn from all his sins, he shall not die. Ezekiel 18:21. Proof that the wicked can choose to be good or bad. Discern between the righteous and the wicked, Malachi 3:18, and 3 Nephi 24:18. Taketh other spirits more wicked than himself, Matthew 12:45 and Luke 11:26. Tares are the children of the wicked, Matthew 13:38. Psychopaths, maybe? Tares? They are the tares. We are the wheat. We're with them. I'm talking about those who don't have very many spiritual bones in their body. Thou wicked and slothful servant, Matthew 25:26, Luke 19:22. Filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, Romans 1:29. Put away from among yourselves that wicked person, 1 Corinthians 5:13. Against spiritual wickedness in high places, Ephesians 6:12. Shield of faith to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, Ephesians 6:16. Shall that wicked be revealed, 2 Thessalonians 2:8. Cain, who was of that wicked one, 1 John 3:12. If there was a Cain, there are many more like him here. He was mortal. He wasn't one of the third of the hosts. And the scriptures even say that he was wicked from the beginning. Begotten of God, and that wicked one toucheth him not. 1 John 5:18. Proof that some were valiant. Some were valiant. Some were valiant. Not all. If ye have sought to do wickedly in the days of your probation, 1 Nephi chapter 10, verse 21. Wickedness never was happiness, Alma 41:10. Great wickedness one very wicked man can cause, Alma 46:9. There are wicked men? Interesting. By the wicked that the wicked are punished, Mormon 4:5. Records, so the wicked will punish the wicked. That's how the wicked are punished, by being around the wicked, and the wicked causing wicked upon the wicked. That's wicked. Records kept back because of the wickedness of mankind, DNC 626. They will not be able to keep records, or they will not have a desire to keep records because of their wickedness. Their children are also growing up in wickedness, Doctrine and Covenants 68:31. Midst of wickedness, which is spiritual Babylon, Doctrine and Covenants 133:14. Moses bore record, but because of wickedness it is not had, Moses 1:23. And thus cometh the end of the wicked, Joseph Smith, Matthew chapter 1, verse 55. And there are many more. Desolation of abomination awaits the wicked. Okay, and you can go read them. Brothers and sisters, I know, just in my heart of hearts, that these terms right here are not necessarily not the doing of us. They are. It's not something that can't be changed in a human being. We have the ability. The scripture says that our hearts can change if we desire it. But if we do not desire it, it won't change. And we were there. Either these people were the wheat or the tares. And it didn't start here. It started in the premortal life. And that's it.